The ship moved slowly through the stars. Inside, Ambassador stood near the window and looked at the massive station ahead. It was the Galaxy Council Station, the center of all alien power in the known universe. 12 species ruled from this place. They controlled trade, war, and peace, and today humanity would ask to join them. Was 42 years old. He had gray hair near his ears and kind eyes. He was not a soldier. He was a teacher before Earth chose him for this mission. The leaders back home said he was perfect because he was calm and patient. He could talk to anyone without anger. He believed in peace more than anything else. His assistant, a young woman named, walked up to him. She was nervous. Her hands were shaking a little. "Sir, we will dock in 10 minutes," she said. Nodded. "Good. Is everything ready? The gifts, the documents?" "Yes, sir. Everything is prepared." Looked at her and smiled softly. "You look worried." She tried to smile back but failed. "I am, sir. The reports say the council does not like humans. They think we are too young, too aggressive. What if they refuse to talk to us?" Put his hand on her shoulder. "Then we will try again and again. Peace is not built in one day. It takes time. It takes patience. That is why we are here." The ship docked with a soft sound. The doors opened and walked out first. He wore a simple black suit with a small Earth flag on his chest. Behind him and 2 guards followed. The guards were there only for show, had asked them not to carry any weapons. The station was huge. The walls were white and gold. Strange lights floated in the air. Aliens of many shapes walked past them. Some looked like tall insects. Some looked like moving rocks. Some had no shape at all, just floating clouds of color. None of them looked at the humans. It was like the humans did not exist. A tall creature with blue skin and 4 arms walked toward them. His name was, and he was the assistant to the king. His face showed no emotion. "You are the human ambassador," said. It was not a question. "Yes, I am. Thank you for allowing us to come." Did not answer. He simply turned and started walking. "Follow me. The king is waiting." They walked through long hallways. Noticed that other aliens moved away from them. Some whispered to each other. A few even laughed. Walked closer to. "They are mocking us," she whispered. "Let them," said quietly. "Words cannot hurt us. Only actions matter." They entered a massive room. It was the council chamber. 12 seats formed a circle in the center, and each seat held a different alien leader. At the top, on a throne made of black metal, sat King. He was large, with dark red skin and eyes like burning fire. He had ruled the council for 300 years. No one questioned his power. Stopped in the center of the room. He bowed deeply. "Great King, honored members of the Galaxy Council, I thank you for this meeting. I am Ambassador of Earth. I come in peace, with open hands and an open heart." Did not move. His eyes looked at like he was looking at an insect. "Humans," said slowly. His voice was deep and cold. "Your species discovered space travel only 200 years ago. You are children. Why should we listen to children?" Some council members laughed, kept his calm. "You are right, King. We are young, but we learn fast, and we want to learn from you. We do not come to take, we come to share. We bring gifts from our world." He waved his hand and stepped forward with a small box. She opened it, showing beautiful blue crystals. "These are ocean crystals from Earth. They are rare and precious. We offer them as a sign of friendship." Looked at the crystals with no interest. "Pretty stones. Is this all humanity has to offer?" "No, Great King. We also bring our knowledge, our medicine, our art, our music. We wish to trade fairly with all species. We wish to build friendships that will last forever." Another council member, a creature with a long neck and silver scales, spoke up. His name was, "The humans have been fighting among themselves for thousands of years. They destroyed their own planet with pollution. Why should we trust them?" Nodded. "You speak the truth, counselor. We have made many mistakes. We have hurt ourselves and our world, but we have also learned from our mistakes. We are not the same humans from 100 years ago. We have changed. We have grown. We want to be better. Leaned forward. Better? You speak of peace, but your ships carry weapons. We have seen them. Your people are violent by nature. You cannot change what you are. Felt his heart beat faster, but he kept his voice steady. Every species has violence in their past, even yours, great king. But violence is not all we are. We also have love. We have hope. We have the desire to build, not destroy. Please give us a chance to prove it. The room was silent for a long moment, looked at without blinking. Then he waved his hand. We will discuss your request. You will wait in the guest quarters. We'll take you there. Bowed again. Thank you, great king. We will wait for your decision with patience and hope. As led them out, whispered too, do you think they will accept us? Did not answer right away. He had seen something in his eyes, something dark and dangerous, but he pushed the thought away. We must believe, he finally said. If we do not believe in peace, then peace will never come. They reached the guest quarters. The room was cold and gray, with no windows. It felt more like a prison than a guest room. The two guards stood by the door and sat down on a hard chair. Walked to the center of the room and closed his eyes. He thought about Earth. He thought about his wife, waiting for him at home. He thought about his daughter, only 7 years old, who had cried when he left. He had promised her he would come back with good news. I will not fail, he whispered to himself. I will bring peace for Earth, for everyone. But somewhere deep in his heart, a small voice told him that something was wrong. He did not listen to it. He was a man of hope, not fear, and that hope would be his greatest strength and his greatest weakness. Outside the guest quarters, walked back to the council chamber, was still on his throne, and the other council members had gathered around him. They were speaking in low voices. The human is a fool, said. He actually believes we will accept them. Nodded, what are your orders, my king? Smiled, but it was not a kind smile. It was the smile of a hunter looking at his prey. Let him believe a little longer. Then we will teach humanity a lesson they will never forget. 3 days passed in the cold gray room. Spent his time writing reports to Earth and practicing what he would say when the council called him back. Helped him prepare, asking questions and making sure he had answers for everything. The two guards stood quietly by the door, watching and waiting. On the morning of the 4th day, the door opened. Stood there with 6 armed soldiers behind him. His face was as cold as stone. The council has made a decision, said. You will come with us now. Stood up and straightened his suit. Of course, thank you for informing us. He looked at and nodded. She stood beside him, holding the documents they had prepared. The 2 guards followed behind them. As they walked through the hallways, noticed something strange. The aliens they passed were not ignoring them anymore. They were watching. Some were smiling. It was not a friendly smile. Moved closer to, something is wrong, she whispered. I can feel it. Stay calm, said quietly. Whatever happens, stay calm. They entered the council chamber. All 12 council members were seated, and King sat on his throne with a strange look in his eyes. It was the look of someone who had already won a game. Felt his stomach turn cold, but he walked forward and bowed. Great King, I am ready to hear the council's decision. Did not speak right away. He let the silence grow heavy. Then he leaned forward, and his voice was like poison. Ambassador, we have discovered something very troubling, something that changes everything. Frowned, I do not understand, great king. Stepped forward and threw a small device on the floor. A picture appeared in the air. It showed a tiny machine, no bigger than a fingernail. This device was found in the gifts you brought, said. It is a spy machine. It records sound and pictures. It sends information back to Earth. His eyes went wide. That is impossible. I inspected those gifts myself. There was nothing. Silence, his voice boomed through the room. Do you deny it? Do you stand there and lie to us? Shook his head. I am not lying, great king. I swear on my life, I did not put any device in those gifts. Someone else must have." Enough stood up from his throne. "Humanity has shown its true nature. You came here pretending to want peace, but you are spies. You wanted to steal our secrets. You wanted to learn our weaknesses so you could attack us." No stepped forward. "This is a mistake. Please let me investigate. Let me prove." The soldiers grabbed him. They held his arms and pushed him to his knees, screamed and tried to run to him, but more soldiers held her back. "Let him go. He has done nothing wrong." Walked slowly down from his throne. He stopped in front of and looked down at him with eyes full of hate. "I was right about humans. You are violent. You are dishonest. You are not worthy to join the council. You are not worthy to live." Looked up at the king. There was no fear in his eyes, only sadness. "I came here with hope," he said quietly. "I believed we could be friends. I believed in peace. If you kill me, you will not be killing an enemy. You will be killing a man who wanted nothing but understanding between our peoples." Laughed. It was a cold, cruel laugh. "Pretty words from a dying man, but words cannot save you now." He looked at the other council members. "The vote is clear. The human ambassador is guilty of espionage. The punishment is death." One council member, an old creature with white fur and kind eyes, spoke up. Her name was, "My king, perhaps we should investigate more. Perhaps there has been a mistake." Turned to her with anger. "Are you questioning my judgment, counselor?" The old creature lowered her head. "No, my king, I just thought." "You thought wrong. The evidence is clear. The human is guilty." Closed his eyes. He thought about his wife. He thought about his daughter. He thought about the blue sky of Earth and the sound of rain on the roof. He would never see them again. "I am sorry," he whispered. "I am sorry, my little flower. I tried. I really tried." Raised his hand. "Take him to the execution platform. Let all the galaxy see what happens to those who try to deceive the council." The soldiers dragged out of the room. Was crying, fighting against the guards who held her. "Please, please let him go. He is innocent. Someone planted that device, please." No one listened to her. The execution platform was in the center of the station, where everyone could see. Thousands of aliens gathered to watch. Some were curious. Some were excited. None of them cared about the human who was about to die. Was forced to kneel on the platform. His hands were tied behind his back. A bright light shone down on him, and cameras floated in the air, sending the images across the galaxy. Every species would see this. Every world would know what happened to humans who dared to approach the council. His voice came through speakers all around the station. "Citizens of the galaxy, today we show you the truth about humanity. They came to us with lies. They came to us with tricks, but we are not fooled. Today we deliver justice. Today this human spy will die, and let this be a warning to Earth. Do not try to deceive us. Do not try to challenge us. You are nothing. You will always be nothing." Lifted his head and looked into the camera. He knew his people were watching. He knew, and his daughter might be watching. He wanted them to see that he was not afraid. "My name is," he said clearly. "I am a son of Earth. I came here seeking peace. I came here with love in my heart. I did not commit any crime. I am innocent. But if my death can somehow bring understanding to the galaxy, then I accept it. Please, people of Earth, do not hate. Do not seek revenge. Remember what I believed in. Remember peace." A soldier walked up behind him with a weapon. Was watching from a window, held back by guards. Tears ran down her face. "No, no, no," she whispered. "Please, no." The weapon fired, a bright flash of light, and Ambassador fell. The crowd of aliens cheered. Smiled on his throne. And somewhere across the stars, Earth watched in horror. 3 days later, a small ship arrived at Earth's main space station. It carried no message, no document, no explanation. It carried only one thing, the body of Ambassador. They had placed him in a simple metal box. When the soldiers opened it, they found his body wrapped in cheap cloth. On his chest, Someone had pinned a note. It said, "A gift from the Galaxy Council. Let this teach you your place." The news spread across Earth in minutes. People gathered in the streets, staring at screens that showed the pictures. They saw the execution video that the council had sent. They heard his last words. They saw him fall. And something changed in humanity that day. The hope that had carried with him died with him. In its place, something else began to grow, something cold, something dark, something that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy. Admiral stood in the military command center, watching the video for the 10th time. Her face showed no emotion, but her hands were shaking. She had known for 20 years. He had been her teacher, her mentor, her friend. She turned off the screen and looked at the officers around her. "Prepare the fleet," she said quietly, "all of it." Commander stepped forward. "Admiral, what are our orders?" Looked at him with eyes that held no warmth, no mercy, no forgiveness. "They wanted to teach us our place. Now we will teach them theirs." The galaxy waited for humanity to cry. They waited for begging, for apologies, for fear. The Council expected Earth to send another ambassador with head bowed low. They expected humans to accept their place at the bottom of the galaxy. That is what every young species had done before them. But the humans did not cry. They did not beg. They did not send anyone. They went silent. For 1 full month, no human ship crossed into Council space. No message came from Earth. No signal, no communication, no response at all. The body had been received and then nothing. Just silence. Deep, heavy, terrible silence. At first, laughed about it. "They are afraid," he told his council. "They are hiding in their little corner of space, crying like children. We have broken them." But as the days passed, the laughter stopped. Because silence was not what scared species did. Scared species talked. They made noise. They tried to negotiate. They begged for mercy. Silence was something else. Silence was what hunters did before they attacked. Brought reports to the king every day. "My king, our spy ships cannot get close to Earth. The humans have created a barrier, some kind of energy field. We cannot see what they are doing." Frowned, "Then send more ships, break through the barrier." "We have tried, my king. 3 ships have been destroyed. The barrier is stronger than anything we have seen before." This news troubled, but he did not show it. No matter, humans are weak. Whatever they are building, it will not be enough to threaten us. But deep inside, a small seed of doubt began to grow. On Earth, Admiral worked day and night. She did not sleep more than 3 hours at a time. She ate only when her officers forced her to. Her whole life had become one thing: preparation. The military command center was always full. Officers ran from station to station, carrying reports and giving orders. Scientists worked on new weapons. Engineers built new ships. Every factory on Earth was running without stop. Every resource was being used for one purpose. Commander stood beside, looking at a massive screen that showed the positions of all human ships. There were hundreds of them, more than anyone in the galaxy knew about. Admiral said, "The fleet is almost ready. 12 carrier groups, 2,000 fighter ships, 50 heavy destroyers, and the new weapons are installed." Nodded slowly. "What about the special project?" Lowered his voice. "The system is complete. We tested it yesterday. It works perfectly." A small, cold smile crossed his face. The system was humanity's secret. For years, human scientists had worked on a way to move ships through space without being detected. No energy signal, no heat signature, no sound. Ships could appear anywhere at any time and no one would see them coming until it was too late. The council thought humans were young and stupid. They thought humans had nothing special to offer. They were wrong. "Good," said, "and the target list." Handed her a tablet. On it were the names of 12 worlds, the of every species on the Galaxy Council, and at the top of the list was the Council Station itself, where King sat on his throne. Looked at the list for a long moment, Then she spoke quietly. Believed in peace. He gave his life for it, and they laughed at him. They killed him like he was nothing. They sent his body back to us with a note telling us to know our place. She put down the tablet and looked at with eyes like iron. Our place is wherever we choose to stand, and we choose to stand over their broken kingdoms. Nodded. The soldiers are ready, Admiral. They saw what happened to Ambassador. Every single one of them has volunteered for this mission. They are not just fighting for Earth, they are fighting for him. Thought about. She remembered the day they first met, when she was a young officer and he was teaching at the academy. He had told her that the greatest strength was not in weapons or ships. It was in understanding, in patience, in hope. "I am sorry, old friend," she whispered in her heart. "I tried to believe in your way, but they took that choice from us." She turned to address the room. Every officer stopped working and looked at her. "Listen to me," she said. Her voice was not loud, but it reached every corner of the room. "In 3 days we move. This will not be a battle. This will not be a war. This will be a message. The galaxy thinks they can kill our people and face no consequences. They think we are weak because we wanted peace. They are about to learn the truth." The officers stood at attention, their faces hard and determined. "We will hit all 12 at the same time. We will show them that we can reach them anywhere, anytime. We will take their king alive. And we will show the galaxy what happens when you harm humanity." She paused and looked around the room. "Some of you might think this is revenge. It is not. Revenge is blind anger. What we are doing is calculated. We are teaching them that humans are not prey. We are not slaves. We are not children to be dismissed and killed. We are a species that protects its own, always, without fail, without mercy for those who show us none." Commander raised his hand. "Admiral, what about the civilians on those worlds? Do we have rules for how to treat them?" His face softened just a little. "We are not monsters. We do not kill the innocent. Our targets are military. Our targets are the leaders who made this decision. The common people of those worlds did not kill. They will not suffer for their king's sins. Is that clear?" "Yes, Admiral." "Good. Now everyone back to work. We have 3 days." As the officers returned to their stations, walked into the room. She had been rescued and brought back to Earth after his death. Her eyes were red from crying, but there was something else in them now, something hard. She walked up to and stood straight. "Admiral, I want to join the mission." Looked at her. "You are not a soldier." "No, but I was there. I watched them kill him. I heard him speak his last words. I need to be there when we answer them." Studied her for a long moment, then she nodded. "Very well, you will stay on my ship. You will watch, and when we face, you will be there to remind him what he did." Bowed her head. "Thank you, Admiral." On the council station, Counselor could not sleep. The old creature walked through empty hallways at night, thinking about what had happened. She had tried to speak against the execution. She had tried to ask for more time, more investigation, but had silenced her. Now the silence from Earth filled her with fear. She found standing near a window, looking at the stars. "You feel it too," she said quietly. Did not turn around. "Feel what, Counselor?" "The silence. It is not the silence of fear. It is the silence of a predator waiting to strike." Was quiet for a moment, then he spoke. "I have studied humans, their history, their wars. They are indeed violent, but they are also patient. When they decide to fight, they do not fight with anger. They fight with cold, calculated precision. They destroy their enemies completely." Shivered. "Then why did the king provoke them? Why kill their ambassador?" "Because the king is arrogant. He believes no species can challenge him. He has ruled too long. He has forgotten what it means to face a real enemy." Looked at the stars outside the window. Somewhere out there in the darkness of space, humanity was preparing. She could feel it in her old bones. "We have made a terrible mistake," she whispered, "and we will pay for it." Finally turned to look at her. His face showed no emotion, but his eyes held something that might have been fear. "Yes," he said simply, "we will." The attack came at midnight Galaxy Standard Time. It came to 12 worlds at exactly the same moment. No warning, no declaration, just fire falling from the sky. On the planet of the Silver Scale, the defense commander was drinking a warm drink and looking at his screens. Everything was quiet. The sensors showed nothing unusual. And then, suddenly, there were ships everywhere. Human ships, hundreds of them. They had appeared from empty space like ghosts. "Impossible," the commander shouted. "Sound the alarm, all ships to battle stations." But it was already too late. The human ships moved with terrible speed and precision. They struck the military bases first, destroying weapons and defense systems. They hit the government buildings next, breaking through every shield and wall. Within 20 minutes, the planet's entire defense network was gone. The same thing happened on 11 other worlds. On the council station, King was sleeping when the alarms woke him. He jumped out of bed and ran to the command center, where officers were screaming and running in panic. "What is happening?" roared. "Report." Was at the main screen, his blue face pale with shock. "My king, we are under attack. Human ships have appeared around the station. They have already destroyed our outer defense ring." "That is impossible. How did they get past our sensors?" "We do not know, my king. They came from nowhere. Our ships cannot track them properly. Every time we lock weapons on them, they disappear and appear somewhere else." Stared at the screen. He could see the human ships now, small and fast, dancing through his fleet like wind through leaves. His proud warships were burning. His station was shaking with every hit. "Send all ships to attack, destroy them." "We are trying, my king, but they are too fast, and there are too many of them." Another explosion rocked the station. The lights flickered. Officers screamed as parts of the ceiling fell down. Far away, on the edge of the battle, Admiral stood on the bridge of her ship. She watched the fight calmly, giving quiet orders to her commanders. "Group 3, focus on the eastern docks. Group 7, take out those heavy cannons. Remember, we want the station mostly intact. We are here for the king, not to destroy everything." Commander stood beside her, reporting the progress of the other attacks. "Admiral, all 12 have reported success. Military targets are destroyed. Government buildings are secured. 0 civilian casualties so far." Nodded. "Good. What about our losses?" "Minimal. 14 ships damaged, 2 destroyed, 37 soldiers wounded, 3 dead." 3 dead. 3 more humans who would not return home because of arrogance. Felt a cold anger in her heart, but she kept her face calm. "Prepare the boarding teams. We are going in." Stood in the corner of the bridge, watching everything. Her heart was beating fast. Part of her could not believe this was really happening. Just a month ago, she had been a simple assistant, helping Ambassador prepare for peace talks. Now she was watching humanity's greatest military strike in history. She thought about his last words. He had asked for no revenge. He had asked for peace, but the Council had given them no choice. Sometimes peace could only come after the storm. The human ships broke through the final defense line and surrounded the station completely. Launched from the carriers, carrying soldiers in black armor. They landed on the station from every direction, cutting through doors and walls, fighting their way toward the center. Gathered his personal guards around him. There were 50 of them, the best warriors in the galaxy. He held a weapon in his hand and stood ready to fight. "They think they can defeat me. I have ruled for 300 years. No human will take me down." The doors to the command center exploded. Smoke filled the room. Through the smoke, human soldiers walked in, their weapons raised. At the front was a tall man with a calm face and eyes like steel. His name tag said Captain. The guards fired their weapons. The humans moved with perfect coordination, taking cover and returning fire. One by one, the guards fell. They were good warriors, but the humans fought like machines. every move planned, every shot perfect. Fired his weapon at Captain. The shot hit the captain's armor and knocked him back, but he did not fall. He stood up, aimed his weapon, and fired. The shot hits weapon, destroying it. Within minutes, all 50 guards were down, stood alone, surrounded by human soldiers. For the first time in 300 years, he felt something he had almost forgotten: fear. Captain walked up to him and spoke in a flat voice. "King, by the authority of the Earth Defense Force, you are under arrest for the murder of Ambassador and crimes against humanity." Spat at him. "You think this changes anything? The Council will destroy you. Every species in the galaxy will hunt you down." Did not react to the spit on his armor. He simply nodded to his soldiers. "Secure him. The Admiral is waiting." They put energy chains on his arms and led him out of the command center. As they walked through the halls, saw the destruction everywhere. Bodies of his soldiers lay on the ground. His beautiful station was filled with smoke and fire. His empire was crumbling around him. They brought him to the main deck, where a human ship had docked. There, standing at the entrance, was Admiral. She wore a simple uniform with no decorations except one small pin on her chest. It was a picture of. Looked at her with hate in his eyes. "Who are you?" "I am Admiral, commander of the Earth Fleet, and I am here to deliver a message from humanity." "A message? You dare speak of messages? You have attacked 12 worlds. You have killed my soldiers. You have destroyed my fleet." His face did not change. "Yes, we have. Just as you killed our ambassador, just as you sent his body back to us with insults, just as you laughed and thought we would do nothing." She stepped closer to him, her voice cold and sharp. "You thought humans were weak. You thought we would beg and cry. You were wrong. We do not beg, we do not cry, we answer. And now you will answer for what you have done." Tried to stand tall, but his chains made it hard. "You cannot do this. The Council will never accept it. You will face the anger of every species in the galaxy." Almost smiled. "Look around you, King. Look at your station. Look at your fleet. Look at your 12 all brought to their knees in a single night. Do you think any species will stand against us now? They saw what we can do. They know what will happen if they try to harm us again." She turned and walked toward her ship. "Bring him. We have one more thing to show the galaxy." The soldiers pushed forward. As he walked, he passed by who was standing near the door. Their eyes met. His face was wet with tears, but her voice was steady. "His name was," she said quietly. "He believed in peace. He believed in you, and you killed him." Said nothing. For the first time in his long life, he had no words. Across the galaxy, species watched their screens in shock. They saw the burning. They saw the destroyed fleets. They saw their all-powerful king dragged away in chains by the humans they had called children. And in that moment, everything they believed about the galaxy changed forever. They brought King to Earth, not in a royal ship, not with comfort or honor. They brought him in a simple prisoner transport, chained like a common criminal. The journey took 5 days, and during that time did not speak. He sat in his small cell and stared at the wall, thinking about how everything had gone so wrong. When the ship arrived at Earth, crowds were waiting. Millions of people had gathered at the spaceport. They did not cheer. They did not shout. They stood in complete silence, watching as the soldiers led out of the ship. That silence was more terrible than any scream. Looked at the humans around him. He had called them children. He had called them weak. Now he saw their faces, hard and cold, filled with quiet anger. These were not children. These were hunters who had caught their prey. They took him to a great hall in the center of Earth's capital city. The hall was normally used for peace conferences and celebrations. Today, it had been turned into a court. At one end was a single chair, raised on a platform so everyone could see. At the other end was a screen that stretched from floor to ceiling. Every seat in the hall was filled. Leaders from every nation on Earth were there. Military commanders, scientists, artists, common people who had waited days for a chance to witness this moment. and at the front in a special section sat the family of Ambassador, his wife, her face pale but proud, his daughter, now understanding what had happened to her father, his mother, old and small, holding a picture of her son. Admiral stood in the center of the hall. She waited until the room was completely silent. Then she spoke, her voice clear and strong. Citizens of Earth, leaders of the world, today we gather not for celebration. We gather for justice. 1 month ago, this man ordered the execution of Ambassador. Our ambassador went to the Galaxy Council with open hands and an open heart. He asked for peace. He asked for friendship. And he was murdered. She pointed at, who was now sitting in the raised chair, still in chains. King believed humans were nothing. He believed he could kill our people without consequence. He sent Body back to us with a note telling us to know our place. Today, we will show him exactly what our place is. She walked to a control panel and pressed a button. The giant screen came to life. On it appeared the face of, taken from his final moments before the execution. The recording played. Everyone heard its last words. My name is, I am a son of Earth. I came here seeking peace. I came here with love in my heart. I did not commit any crime. I am innocent. But if my death can somehow bring understanding to the galaxy, then I accept it. Please, people of Earth, do not hate. Do not seek revenge. Remember what I believed in. Remember peace. The recording ended. The room was silent. Many people were crying quietly. Turn 2. You heard his words. He asked for peace, even as he faced death. He asked us not to seek revenge. He believed in the good in all beings, even you. She paused, her eyes hard. But you showed him no mercy. You did not even give him a fair trial. You made up lies and killed him to send a message. You thought that message would make us afraid. Instead, it united us. Instead, it woke something in humanity that had been sleeping. The desire to protect our own. The will to stand up against any threat. The strength to do what must be done. She looked at the screen, then back at. Ambassador asked us not to seek revenge. And this is not revenge. This is justice. There is a difference. Revenge is blind. Justice is clear-eyed. Revenge destroys without purpose. Justice creates order. Today, we create a new order. She turned to address the whole hall and the cameras that were sending this broadcast across the galaxy. Let all species hear this. Humanity came to the galaxy in peace. We still believe in peace, but we will not be victims. We will not let our people be killed without answer. Any species that harms a human will face the same justice we deliver today, not out of hate, not out of anger, but out of love for our own people and respect for the truth. She walked to and stood directly in front of him. King, you have been found guilty of the murder of Ambassador. You have been found guilty of crimes against humanity. The punishment is death. Finally spoke, his voice rough and broken. You speak of justice, but this is murder. You are no better than me. Shook her head slowly. No, there is a great difference, was innocent. He came to you with nothing but hope. You are guilty. You killed him with a smile. That is the difference between murder and justice. She stepped back and looked at his family. His wife stood up. She walked to the platform with slow, steady steps. In her hand she held a small device, the execution switch. She stopped in front of and looked into his eyes. For a long moment she said nothing. Then she spoke, her voice shaking but strong. My husband believed that all beings have good in them. He believed that even the worst enemies could become friends. He died believing this. Part of me wants to believe it too. Part of me wants to spare you to prove that was right. Tears fell from her eyes. But you took him from me. You took him from our daughter. She cries for him every night. She asks me when father is coming home, and I have to tell her that he will never come home because of you. She raised the device. This is not revenge. This is me telling the galaxy that human life has value, that we are not nothing, that when you kill one of us, we will answer, and we will never stop answering until the universe understands. She pressed the switch. A beam of light shot from above and struck. He did not scream. He simply fell, his body becoming still. The mighty king who had ruled for 300 years was gone. The hall was silent for a long time. Then slowly Admiral stepped forward. "It is done. Justice has been delivered. Now we must look forward," wanted peace. Even in death he wanted understanding between species. We honor his memory by continuing that work. We will not become conquerors. We will not become tyrants. We will be what believed we could be, a species worthy of the stars. She looked at the camera one final time. "To all species in the galaxy, we offer you a choice. Work with us in peace as equal partners and we will be your greatest allies. Threaten us, harm us, look down on us, and you will face the same fate as. The choice is yours. Choose wisely." The broadcast ended. 1 year later, a new statue stood in the center of Earth's capital. It showed Ambassador with his hands open, reaching toward the sky. Below it, words were carved in stone. "He came in peace. He left us hope." Every day, people came to visit the statue, humans and aliens alike, because after the fall of everything changed. The Galaxy Council was rebuilt, this time with humans at the table, not as newcomers begging for acceptance, as equals who had proven their strength and their desire for peace. Admiral retired from the military and became Earth's new ambassador to the Council, worked as her assistant just as she had worked for. Together, they continued the work he had started. Sometimes, late at night, would stand at her window and look at the stars. She would think about his words, about his dream of a galaxy united in friendship. "We are trying, old friend," she would whisper. "We are still trying." And across the stars, a new age was beginning. An age where humans were no longer children to be dismissed. An age where peace was built on respect, not on fear. An age that Ambassador had dreamed of, even as he faced death with hope in his heart. He had believed in humanity. He had believed in peace. And in the end, his belief had changed the universe.